Ahem. The doctor apologized.
The doctor.
He had asked that the woman be more respectful of the gravestone and not sit on it. The sod was not quite dry.
Not quite
It might easily sink. The request came from the deceased sister.
DJ Meph,
Doc Waffles.
Detroit Underground. Doc Waffles.
Hello.
Doc Waffles just released his new EP.
That's right.
What's it called?
It's called Seizure Suit Farms. Thank you very much, everyone who checked it out and downloaded it online.
It's free, docwaffles.com.
It's totally free, it's entertaining. I've got songs about Jurassic Park, Billy Joel, all that good shit. docwaffles.com/music. Check it out.
So, you moved to Chicago in 2007, and what were you doing there?
I went to Chicago to try to open a rare bookstore. I'm a rare book dealer by trade. I had been working for John King here in Detroit. I wanted to try to do my own thing. So I moved out there. This was just after I put out Golf You Drive, which is also available online, docwaffles.bandcamp.com. Still a classic 5 years later. We keep it Golf You still. You know?
So at the time that you moved to Chicago, were you jaded with the whole Detroit hip-hop scene?
I don't know if I was jaded. My record didn't get the kind of reception that I wanted. So I decided to do other stuff, write stories and essays and plays and ballet scripts and shit like that. But I never got jaded with the scene. Detroit has always been extremely vibrant. It has been a good place to perform and draw inspiration from other artists. I don't know, my projects are so unique and my message, I feel like I can deliver it in a specific way that is better than anyone else because it's my message. That's what I'm trying to do. We're at the Telway, by the way.
Yeah, we're getting some burgers.
So, you know, there's a lot of artists in Detroit that I admire that I think are tremendously talented that I would never put on my record just because they might not affect it in the way that I want. Mm-hmm. And I'm very controlling about how these things come together creatively. So no, I'm mostly just a self-contained rapper. You know, I do have the homeboy Self Says on the new EP. He's a dude that can blend styles with me and has the same sort of immersive effect that I like to try to convey. So I had him jump on the shit.
Did you work with anyone else on the LP that's coming out on How to Shoot Collab?
I did not, actually. I carry all the rhymes on that one. It's me wall to wall, more or less. I had a lot to say on this one. You know, it's been a while since I've put some projects out. So I have plans to do stuff with other people. Me and Sheefy McFly have a project coming out later this year called the Kush Twins. I would love to do another EP with Self-Size, something like that.
Is there anyone else that you would want to work with on a future album in Detroit?
Yeah, there's a lot of producers. I would love to work with. Doc Illingsworth is one cat that I really admire that I'd love to work with. Chains is another cat. On the lyrical side, Beverly Fresh. Beverly Fresh is one of my favorite Detroit rappers. I'd love to do a track or a project with him, or a performance, something like that.
In your music, you
What's up with those Telways, girl?
Oh yeah, I thought you might have wanted me to deliver these Telways.
Rapper Keeper Deluxe, Jane Fader, who we don't travel without, hooking her up on a fat sack of Telways. I met Jane Fader about a year ago because she had done a video that used one of my songs, and she became my manager, and she actually handled like the business end of things on this latest release, sending out a bunch of emails and coordinating all my various online personas and presences there, making it look all crispy and fresh. So I'm definitely indebted to her dynamo like beastliness on the promo side for the shit. And I'm not just saying that because she brought me a burger a few minutes ago.
In your music, you talk a lot about girls, but you talk a lot about loss and pain. Do you find that you're inspired more by the things that you lose, or more by what you gain?
Oh, I don't know. Even like one of the things about loss is that over time, loss becomes accumulation. You wind up having like all these people or ideas or opportunities that you lose track of, and like the collective weight of those things is a tremendous source of inspiration, because you always want to reimagine how you could have done things differently. So I don't know, I'm very democratic when it comes to inspiration. You know, I get ideas for tunes from all sorts of things, from reading the paper, being on the bus, going through heart-wrenching relationships, or just like, I don't know, sharing a slush puppy with 2 straws, you know. I looked at Norm very coquettishly when I said that. Don't get it twisted, though. We're at the Telway, man. I saw it too.
Did you guys talk about Ginger Jenny Ale yet?
Not yet.
No, that's part of the reason we're out here at the Telway, is on a scout for my friend Jenny, who I wrote a song about on my new EP, who's now a prostitute down here. And it's always fun to run into her and give her some hamburgers and hear stories.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading an excellent book that's called The Gentle Madness by Nicholas Basbanes. I recommend it to anyone who likes to read or is into books. It's all about book collecting, and book collecting as an obsession and a preoccupation throughout the years. So it's got profiles of great book collectors and shit like that. I like it.
Are you writing anything right now besides music?
Right now, I'm devoting most of my energies to rap. I've thought about it, and I like to write stories and essays and other stuff, but rapping is a young man's game, you know. I gotta do it while I'm still somewhat handsome and inclined to dance in a goofy way. I figure when I'm old, I'll be able to sit down and write sonnets or whatever. As for now, I want to rap while the rapping is good, and it's good right now. It's a great time to be a rapper in Detroit.
It is.
There's a lot of talented cats out right now. Mm-hmm. We're smoking and eating Telways.
In bed.
In bed.
Yep.
I smoke in bed.
I really like your delivery. I think it's very unique. It's more intimate. I would compare it to a nervous suicide bomber waiting in line at security at the airport.
I would say it's more like a nervous boyfriend standing in line to buy birth control. But thank you, that's a very colorful and poetic way to describe my style. I don't know, I don't think of myself as being a real dynamic, like, DMX style rapper where I can come on and just dominate a track with my voice. That's why I have to make my rap so interesting and distinct. I think they're content oriented, but like the aging prize fighter who is able to get by on wiliness and strategy in the ring, I feel like over the years, you know, I'm 30 years old, man, like I've been rapping for a minute now, so it's like I've learned how to present myself, I think, in a pretty distinct and magical way.
Do you find that do you find it easier to connect with the crowd when it's in when you're standing in front of them on a raised platform, or when you're on a tall stage, disconnected physically?
I like to be, I mean, the best way to perform is just eye to eye, I think, with your audience. You know, I want to play Carnegie Hall in the Apollo, where I'll have to stand on stage, you know, far from my audience. But if you have a good performance and you present yourself in an entertaining fashion, you should be able to connect with any audience. I would want ideally like a Coliseum setting or like a cockfight pause where people are surrounding you, or like Theater in the Round or something like that, you know? That'd be the best way, but I'll play anywhere, I don't give a shit. Don't hesitate to book me just because your stage is elevated by 3 feet or whatever. I'll still come out and rock that shit.
When I first heard about you, it was through a friend of mine who goes by Stilo.
Stelio.
He used to own a record store in Hazel Park, and you used to go there and battle people.
Yes, indeed.
And it's kind of where you came up.
That's actually where the name Doc Waffles was coined. It was at the Wax Museum.
Oh.
I was in those days I battled under a lot of different names because I didn't really have a regular name that I used. I hadn't recorded anything. So I had entered a battle up there as Doc Waffles, and then tried to go back and sign up as some other shit, and they were just like, no, you're Doc Waffles. And so I sort of got stuck with that shit. But
do you have any?
That was a good time, man. I met some really heavyweights. Like, Detroit's cool. Back when I was a little kid, you could battle people, and they were just the other people in the scene, but a lot of them have gone on to become some of the big names, like, in what has become this, like, large entertainment machine of rap battling.
Yeah.
Which I'm able to use for a little promo here and there. Check out my rap battles on YouTube. Doc Waffles, search that shit.
Grind time now.
I make a lot of obscure, nerdy references. Check it out. But yeah, I battled Finale up there and Subverse a couple times, and Beal Ticket and a bunch of other dope MCs. I got to meet Crate Digger there and Jay Spliff and a bunch of other local DJs who helped me cultivate my style. You know what I mean? Like, listening to records in Steelo's basement is where I learned about a lot of rap, especially like Detroit shit. So
yeah, he's got this large collection of hip hop records that he calls the Wax Museum, and he'll just sit there and play records for you all night long. And
yeah, then give you a ride home and run out of gas and shit, and make you walk for miles in the hood. I'm just playing.
How to Shoot Quail was already finished before you dropped Seizure Suit Farms, right?
That's right. Before I started to record Seizure Suit Farms, even. How to Shoot Quail is a full length, and it's more of a definitive statement of where I'm at as a rapper. It's been so long since I came out with a project. I wanted to put something out there that was a little shorter, you know what I mean? Just a little aperitif, some little mini egg rolls before the main course comes. It's just a way to reacquaint people with my style, which I think has matured a little bit over the years. And just to get people excited and amped up for my shit, which is going to come out this fall. How to Shoot Quail. It's the bird scope tutorial for the fall. So strap on your gum boots.
So what have you been doing since Seizure Suit Farms then?
You mean since it came out yesterday?
Well, I mean since you made it.
I had some Telways. I don't know. I mean, I've got a full-length album in the can right now, and I'm putting a lot of my resources towards trying to promote the EP, promoting the album. We shot a video, the jump-off video for How to Shoot Quail, Eleanor Roosevelt, directed by Brandon Wally, is going to come out in a couple weeks. So I'm trying to do that, and then once the album is out, then I'm going to sit down and get some new beats. I'm always writing shit, but right now it's just sort of sketching some ideas out, do a couple promo tracks. I want to do some shit with my boy Leif Erikson, what up though. Benjamin Miles has an EP coming out soon. I want to fuck with him a little bit. Me and Mr. have a project coming out in 2025, Brothers-in-Law. It's going to take us that long to make it, but it's coming.
So there's this company in the UK, and they recently announced that that they have this service where it's a posthumous service where when you die, you have your remains sent to them, and they will turn it into a vinyl record.
Naturally.
If you could be any record when you die, what would you be?
I don't know. I mean, the finality of it makes me want to say All Tomorrow's Parties by the Velvet Underground, but if I really had to choose, I would say some traditional doo-wop shit, you know what I mean? Like Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, something like that. Why Must I Be a Teenager in Love would be a good one. Something by the Crystals, maybe.
All right, man. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Check my shit out, docwaffles.com/music, youtube.com, search Doc Waffles. Seizure season is wide open. Download that shit. When you see me at the fucking streets at the bus stop and pick your boy up, give me a ride. I'm usually holding.